is 18 minutes past the hour. A hearing tomorrow will determine whether 9-year-old Mark Hartmann stays in his regular third grade class in Leesburg, Virginia. Mark's parents say he belongs there, despite the fact that he's autistic. But others say he's disruptive, even violent, and that behavior makes his presence unfair to his classmates. Roxana and Joseph Hartmann join us this morning live from Leesburg, and here in New York, Carmen Alvarez, the Vice President of Special Education for the United Federation of Teachers. Good morning, everybody, and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Roxana, your son's elementary school is now recommending that your son stay in regular classes for a half day and then in special classes for the other half of the day. What's wrong with that?
The issue here is that my son was very successful for 2 years in Lombard, Illinois. My son has been placed in special education programs before for autistic children. We already have gone that road. We were very successful in Lombard, Illinois for 2 years, and we feel that inclusion is the way to go for my son because he had proven to be the thing to do for him then and is still now. So we feel very comfortable with the idea of having our child fully included in third grade as it is right now.
Well, Joseph, you know what some parents are saying. They feel that your son's presence in the classroom is disruptive. What do you say to them?
The disruptive behavior is really caused by the circumstances that are presented in the schoolroom. And there are techniques, there are strategies that are out there to deal with those behaviors. And the fault here really resides with the school system in not training the staff and in not providing exactly those kinds of strategies and expertise to deal with my son being in a regular education classroom. This was done very well in Lombard, Illinois. We had an inclusion facilitator who provided the staff with a continuing feedback on what they were doing right, how to change, and working together with an entire team of people to make it successful, and indeed it was.
Ms. Alvarez, obviously every school is different when it comes to resources they have available, but how far must a school go to accommodate disabled students in a general classroom?
The first thing I want to say is that by law, each child needs to be individual, have an assessment that's individual, and that an expert team should determine, and that includes the classroom teacher, whether they will receive educational benefit without disrupting the other children in the classroom in a general ed classroom. What's important is that staff be trained in order to support the children in general education. What you need to know is that we've surveyed across the country, and one of the 3 top negatives about inclusion is, 1, there's not enough staff development for staff.
Right.
Number 2, that there's too much disruptive behavior, that some of the children who are disabled in the classroom are too disruptive and impact the education of the general ed students. And 3, and there are more, is that the class sizes are too large. Those are some of the negatives about inclusion.
Joseph and Roxana, obviously you're sensitive to the concerns of parents of the general students. What rights do you think they should have if the school isn't properly set up to have the kind of support that you're pushing for?
I do think, Paula, that those children have as much rights as my son has. It's very unfair for the school district not to provide the services that teacher needs and those children needs to be able to have a child like my son within the classroom. Definitely, the difference between Ashburn Elementary and the Butterfield School is 2 different systems. And you have to have into consideration, Carmen brought a very important issue, the training and the support that these teachers need to have within the classroom. That's probably one of the key issues to make inclusion a very successful placement for any child who have a disability.
Ms. Alvarez, based on the cases you've looked at across the country, what is the bottom line here in this case this morning as we close out this segment?
2 points. There is a case in California right now where the judge concluded the child's behavior was too disruptive and removed the child from an inclusion program. And that another case in Pennsylvania said that they're putting a class action suit that there must be support services to train people in inclusion. It's a very controversial issue. There needs to be a lot more discussion. And I believe if a team gets together, it can be worked out.
Ms. Alvarez. Joseph and Roxana Hartmann, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Paula.
23 minutes after the hour, we'll be right back.